Look, it has never been easier to get ahead of 95% of businesses with one of my favorite tools, YouTube. If you know how to use it, it can seriously blow up your business. I'm talking lead flow, I'm talking talent acquisition, I'm talking building trust at scale, all those things. But more importantly, building a platform where you are the go to person in your industry, where clients start lining up to work with you while everyone else is stuck chasing them and then cutting their prices at the exact same time. So in this video, I'm going to be breaking down the two types of YouTube channels on YouTube, which one you want to be building, and then the easy strategy to beat most of your competition using YouTube. And then finally, I'm going to give you a simple action plan on how you can start using YouTube this week to start getting leads for your business. But before we can figure out how to beat 95% of businesses on YouTube, we also have to first understand the three levels of business. And for each one of these, I want to show how they get customers, what kind of demand they have, and then also what their pricing strategy looks like. Because I think all of this will be really, really important. Okay, so level one, this is going to be kind of your legacy businesses. These are the ones that maybe have a website, but besides that, they've basically avoided the internet like the plague. Most of their customers are coming from referrals, going out, hustling, networking, or just people they know like their friends and family. From a demand perspective, basically no one is beating down their doors trying to work with them. And because of that, just out of necessity, they have to take basically any work that comes their way. And while at the same time, pricing them lower than the competition because there's always going to be someone who can do it a little bit cheaper. Now, if you're in a small town or if you've been doing your business for a long time, staying at this level can work, but as soon as the referrals dry up, suddenly you're at a loss on how to get new customers, and then you start feeling the pressure. That's where level two comes in. So, level two businesses, they know about the internet and social media, but they don't really know how to use it to get customers. These are going to be the people that see people on, say, TikTok doing the TikTok dances. And they're like, okay, is this how I'm supposed to grow my business? And then they ended up just making very transactional content. And they're like, hey, I have a business. Would you like to buy from me? I don't know why they sound like that. And because all they're doing is selling, very few new customers, if any, actually come from it. Now, normally the issues they have is they don't know what to post. They don't know why clients are converting if they are getting views. And then they also have no intentional strategy on growing their business. But then that brings us to level number three. And these are the businesses that are intentionally using YouTube to grow their brand. Now, it is pretty slow at first, but with every post, every week that you're on the platform, the size and the value of their brand is going to go up. Because they're showing up and solving problems for their audience, they are building an incredible amount of reciprocity. Here's where the fun part is. So YouTube is doing three things at once. One, it's getting you in front of people who didn't know that you existed. Two, it's building trust with them with every single video, and it's helping you convert them when they're ready to buy. If you can do this well, more and more customers start lining up to work with you, which puts you in the place of deciding who do I want to work with and what do I want to be charging. And honestly, just posting any kind of content on YouTube, because it is doing those three things at once, will put you ahead of basically all of your competition, especially if you're in a local market. But there are two distinct YouTube channels or types of YouTube channels that you can build. And if you have a business, I would highly recommend building the second one. So let's break those down. So option number one, and this is probably where you're going to see the most common on YouTube. In fact, if you've watched a lot of these how to grow your YouTube channel videos, that's typically what they're recommending just because those are the kind of videos that are going to get the most views. So here's the persona of the person trying to build a YouTube channel with option number one. Their North Star is just getting views. They think that if I get a video with a lot of views, it did well. If a video gets a low amount of views, I suck. And because of that, they're always trying to optimize for what will get the most views. They see the other creators online, they're like, okay, you have to hire a video editor for $400 per video, and you also have to be entertaining if you want to get views. And I will say, if you are building a broadly appealing channel, there's some truth to that, but they also don't share the unfortunate truth about building this type of channel. So these type of channels are typically trapped relying on the YouTube algorithm because their lifeblood is basically views. Yes, more people know about them, but less people actually care about them. So they look up one day and then like, okay, I've doubled so far down on what was working, but this is so far detached from what I think my dream clients would love. And they start to question everything. But the good news is there's actually another option. And that's why I'm making this video. Because I would argue there's an option that is more fun, it takes less work to do, and you can make a heck of a lot more money from it than option number one. So if option number one was trying to be YouTube famous, option number two is trying to make you niche famous. Now, how do you do that? Well, first, you stop looking at views as the end-all be-all metric. I would argue that some creators make more money with 1,000 views than other creators do with 1,000,000 views, like by far. In one of my other videos, I talked about a guy named Graham Cochran, and he has been able to make $15 million on the platform by intentionally building the second kind of channel. In most of his videos, there's basically no editing at all. He's not chasing trends, but what he is doing is he is showing up consistently for his audience. Literally every single week for the last 16 years, he's made a YouTube video, and he's giving a tremendous amount of value. Even though most of his videos only get a couple thousand views, they're building so much trust with his audience that people are literally lining up to pay this guy tens of thousands of dollars, which to most legacy businesses, you think that is almost impossible to do. And on this channel, one of the things that I'm passionate about is showing you how to build that second kind of channel. So if that sounds like something you want to continue to learn about, make sure to subscribe. Now, how do you start doing that today? I would say it's actually so much easier than you probably thought. See, for me, the hardest part was just making my very first video. And this was one of the biggest inflection points once I actually got over it. Because just like when you're investing, the sooner that you can start, the more the compounding effects later are going to be. So I want to give you a plan that you can use to make your first piece of content this week to start building that channel that has your dream clients lining up to work with you. So here's the plan. Take one question, a question that you probably always hear from your clients, and answer it in a video. Literally, that simple. It doesn't have to be complicated. And honestly, for your first video, it doesn't even have to be good. It just has to be done. You don't need to edit it. Start recording with your phone. Give people a good answer to that question. Stop recording and then post it. Now, will that have people lining up your door to start working with you today? Probably not. But I can assure you, if you can take one small action to start this week and then continue to come back and learn how you can build this kind of channel, this is going to be one of the most valuable assets that your business has. And here's the crazy part. With every upload, with every week and month that you're on the YouTube platform, the effort that you're putting in is actually compounding. So when you look up 5 years from now, you don't have to chase your clients anymore. You don't have to keep competing on price. You can focus on showing up, serving your audience, and then getting paid what you deserve. And if you want to help building this kind of channel for your business, you can click the first line in the description. All right, see you next time.